Let's make it a good day.
Coming up today, it was a big hit on Broadway, but how will Dear Evan Hansen transfer to the big screen? The first trailer for the movie is out. We have thoughts. Then, I have another best thing ever, and it's a restaurant reopening and a meal that I can't wait to tell you about. And the toy guy is back with the hottest toys for spring and summer. Here we go.
Let's make it a good day. We do it our own way. Let's make it a good day. Oh, no matter what they say. Oh, yeah.
Good morning, Hendricks. Good morning, Hastings. Good morning, Hudson. And good morning to you. Welcome to the Jason Show. I'm Jace. Please say hello to my sidekick sister from another mister and Kmart's Employee of the Month, Kendall Mark, everyone.
Hello.
Blue Light Special.
By the way, if you were a kid and you got lost in Kmart and you went up to an associate to tell them you couldn't find your mom, you got to go and get a free slushies at Little Caesars. Worked every time.
Okay, the bad news is you're lost into Kmart. The good news is you get a slushie. I guess that's how the world works.
My mom caught on eventually and would get so mad at me.
Oh, because you would purposely make yourself lost.
Yeah, I would know exactly where she was and hide underneath the jeans in one of those circle racks and be like, she's gone. Okay, I'm gonna get a slushie.
What a delightful child you were. Let's talk to our audience. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome today's virtual audience, Tara and Lorena. Hi, guys. Hello? Okay.
Hello.
Oh, there we go. Okay, I was worried you were muted. Lorena, let me start with you. Where are you zooming in from? Okay, this is going great. We'll check in with them a little bit later. Okay, I guess I should have gone to rehearsal. Steve, we'll go to them a little bit later.
Happens
This has
every
not been our
time.
week. This has not been our week. But we're gonna just keep plowing ahead, aren't we?
That's kind of the theme of the show.
Yeah.
Just plow ahead.
Plow ahead, no matter what happens. Hey, this dropped about a couple hours ago. Look at this. People Magazine got the exclusive. This is the cover, the official cast photo of the Friends reunion. Look at that. They look really good.
Seriously.
I mean, I mean that. I mean, let's just, not all of us age well. They have aged well. They look, it's been 17 years since they've been together.
Yeah.
Look, that's great.
Joey has gray in his hair, and that's about it. And he still looks good.
He was the first. He let himself go gray early. It's hard.
Go gray.
No, but it is hard to, out of the whole cast, it's the hardest to accept Joey having gray hair. Because he's goofy and seemed always youthful. To see Matt LeBlanc with gray, it was always a little like, oh, Joey has gray hair.
What?
Yeah, but the other photos in the piece, you can see it on People Magazine's Instagram. Great.
Yeah.
They have them all sitting in the set because they recreated the set there at Warner Brothers, and they're sitting there playing charades. And it's going to be great. I can't wait to. I know you wanted another episode, but I just want them together. It's going to be fun to see.
Yeah, I'll still get the gist of it from you.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna watch it.
Yes, you are.
Unless you tell me I have to watch it, then I'll watch it.
No, you're going to watch it for the show. Yeah.
Okay.
Jeff's going
I'll
to
watch it
make
for the
you.
show.
You're going to have to watch it for the show.
Yeah, if they tell me I have to watch it,
It's going to be the
watch
pop
it.
culture event of the season. It really is.
I think. Okay, hear me out.
We're out of time. I'm just joking. Go ahead.
I love Friends. I have an appreciation for Friends, absolutely. However, it was slightly before when I could really appreciate it when it originally aired. So I think I would be a lot more excited about it if I was
my age
of your generation. Yeah, no, seriously. I mean that.
I know, I get it.
So.
Get off my lawn. Speaking of Kindle, once again, this pops up. This pops up sometimes like a little whack-a-mole, and then we just have to go like this. We're getting a resurgence of emails about my favorite subject. And the subject is this: why do I get to sit and Kindle has to stand? So, for the 150th... Oh, and by the way, we got an email in the middle of the night, probably my favorite email of the week. So this lady sent us an email a couple months ago, and she goes, I would really like to know why Kindle stands and you get to sit. And then, because we're a smaller staff, we accidentally didn't reply to that email. 2 months later, she sends an email in the middle of the night going, I'm waiting for my answer. So here's the answer. One more time. Kendall, take it away.
A, calm down. B, as a feminist, don't worry, I can stand up for myself. And C, I prefer to stand. Thank you.
Yeah.
Enough with the emails. Yeah. We good. We've been over this.
And even if none of those 1, 2, or 3 were true, it's also just a production choice. It's a production choice. It's again, joking, name on the floor.
But it's true.
It's just a little, thank you, Steve. Thank you. Little production choice. Anyway,
everybody,
let's get started.
Calm down.
Yeah, let's get started. Time for the hot dish. Roll it, Steve. Broadway is still closed for the pandemic, but we're getting our first taste of Dear Evan Hansen on the big screen. The hit musical is coming to theaters in September. It stars the original Evan, Ben Platt. Let's look at the trailer, and we have a lot to say. Look.
No one signed your cast. Now we can both pretend we're friends.
I'm sorry about my brother.
Have you ever felt forgotten in the middle of nowhere? I wish everything was different. Wish I was part of something. Wish that anything I said mattered. Have you ever felt like you could disappear?
Dear Evan Hansen.
Yeah, that's mine. I'll just take it. Wait, I need that back. You could fall, and no one would hear. Connor took a letter from me, and it was an assignment from my therapist. Ew. Even when the dark comes crashing through.
Connor's mother and stepfather are here to see you.
When you need a friend to carry you.
Connor wanted you to have this.
And when you're broken on the ground.
Dear Evan Hansen, he wrote it to you.
His last words, Connor took his own life.
Okay.
I didn't write this.
No, please.
Let me lead with the positive, as I try to do. I saw this on Broadway. I loved it. I didn't see it with Ben. I saw it with the next guy, who was phenomenal, okay? I love the music. It's truly one of my favorite modern shows. Ben Platt, I think, is too old to play that role now. I feel like it's Dear Mr. Hansen, the substitute teacher. I can't get over it. And I'm not the only one. But then again, other people, my buddy Alexis, doesn't have a problem with it. Ben Platt is like, what, 27, 26, 27? Look, in Hollywood history, there have been a lot of examples of people like Glee, the whole cast of Glee, they were in their 50s when they played the Glee cast. There's been a long history of Hollywood doing this, but for whatever reason, personally, I think it would have been, how old is he? 27. Mm-hmm. Personally, I think they should have chose that other young man to play Evan Hansen and let Ben Platt just supervise. Because there's just something, he does look like the substitute teacher in those high school scenes.
Yeah, the first time I watched it, I didn't really notice, if I'm being honest. Like, I was like, oh, okay. I mean, I just was like, the music's great, this is great, that's being brought to a movie. But then we talked about it, and then I watched it again, and I was like, oh, yeah, he's definitely 27.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
And also, I'll end with positivity. Ben is fantastic.
Right.
This is not a knock on Ben.
No.
I mean, Mother Nature, ticka-taka, it happens to all of us. I'm just saying, for the movie, I think it would have been a little more believable if they would have gone with the younger man, the other guy that took over for Ben, or one of the other ones that took over for Ben.
Yeah, interesting take, because then this is what we're talking about instead.
I know, and it's all over. I know, I'm not the only one. Twitter, not that I take Twitter for the gospel, but there's a lot of folks in my camp on this one. Am I still going to see it? Yes, because I love it. Dear Evan Hansen will debut in theaters in September. Moving on, next on the dish, Chrissy Teigen doesn't have much of a filter. We know that. And now that's gotten her into some hot water with retailers or partners. Bloomingdale's is walking away from a deal with her and her cookware line after a model accused Chrissy of bullying. The bullying started 10 years ago after 16-year-old Courtney Stodden. Remember her? She married that 50-year-old dude. Among the tweets, Chrissy said, "I can't wait for you to die." Chrissy has apologized. This is a good example of, I try to handle each of these so-called cancel stories. I handle them one at a time. Sometimes I think it's unnecessary. I don't even think this is cancel. This is consequence. I like her. I do. I think she was funny on Twitter. But when she typed that stuff to Courtney, who, by the way, let's acknowledge, is a victim of child abuse. It's a 50-year-old guy going out with her when she was 16. Put that aside, but not putting it aside. You don't say to somebody, people always, that's bullying. You don't say to someone, I can't wait for you to die, or I hope you die. You can't say that. And when Chrissy said that, she was in her late 20s. Mm-hmm. You know better. Mm-hmm. I don't even know if I could excuse this if she was 11 tweeting this out. Then you could use the excuse, well, do you really judge someone, in their worst moment in high school? No. But do you judge them when they're near 30 and they're typing this stuff? I don't know. I've never said that to someone. I've never looked. You know what I mean? I think this is warranted, and I don't like saying that. I don't like jumping on the pitch, the angry villager kind of thing. Your take?
Yeah, and Courtney Stodden is not some angelic character. We talked about how they were. So Courtney goes by they. They were 16. They got married to a 50-year-old. That is one thing. That early 2000s, when we talk about anything with the way that the media, not necessarily like big media, but just magazines in general portrayed this stuff.
Tabloids.
Totally different story, right? Yeah. However, I mean, they have done a couple of other things that have been a little like, oh, okay, but that doesn't give you an excuse to bully somebody. It just doesn't. No,
I don't care if you are the worst. I don't care if you're the most scandalous adult film star in the world. Mm-hmm. You don't deserve for a celebrity to send you DMs saying, I hope you die, or I can't wait for you to die.
Especially when, what did Courtney Stodden ever do to Chrissy Teigen?
Yeah, anyway, I just saying, no, that's a good point. Mm-hmm. We have a lot more to come. Go get some more orange juice, coffee, tea, Bud Light. We'll be back right after this. Stay with us. Fun is waiting right around the corner. Next, I have another best thing ever this week, and today it is simply one of the best meals I have had in years. What and where? Well, I'll tell you coming up. Then, we have great ways to motivate your kids to get out and play this summer. A sneak peek at the hottest new toys coming this season. The Toy Guy will show you. And a new distillery in the Twin Cities is making worldwide news. Why? You'll find out when Kendall takes you to the O'Shaughnessy Distilling Company. That and more when The Jason Show continues.
The place I met him at was, we started calling the dorm room, because for a grown man to live like a college freshman is a thing. A lot of black lacquer furniture, a lot of faux leather furniture. There was a massive fish tank with a lot of dead fish in it.
To all the dudes out there, what's up?
Yeah. Like where you're like, I gotta pee, but like, do I hover like I'm at a gas station?
Jimmy, she didn't have taste neither. Like, we're not about to sit here like she had amazing taste.
Oh, really?
Wait.
We did discover as we were building the house, we met with this woman who had impeccable taste. She was an amazing designer. And she starts talking smack about a celebrity that we all know that will remain nameless, and about how horrible their taste was. And we had just seen that person's house and thought it was amazing. And that's when we discovered that we too have terrible taste. Yeah, we had to step it up.
I feel like we're doing therapy right now. And
I love them. Gabrielle Union and Dwayne Wade on with Jimmy Kimmel. Good couple. I could watch that. Now that's a reality show I could watch right there. Next in the dish, is the White House haunted? There's a new debate brewing amongst the Bush family, and it's playing out on the Kelly Clarkson show. Jenna was on a few months back, and her mom Laura responded this week. Look at this.
So Barbara and I were going to sleep. Our rooms were right next to each other, and it was in college when people would call late. So our phone rang, and I woke up, and all of a sudden we heard like 1920s piano music coming out of our fireplace. And I was like, surely that's like the cat or something. You know, we had to pretend, but it was the middle of the night, and you could feel the music out of the fireplace.
I think Barbara and Jenna were the ones that felt like that it was haunted, and pretended like they heard voices. And it's probably just the Secret Service talking down the hall in another room that they heard. But we didn't.
There have been books written about the White House ghosts. Some say they see Abigail Adams, Andrew Jackson, and Abraham Lincoln. That would be freaky.
For so many
Well,
reasons.
I mean, why wouldn't it be? I mean, the house has been around. Come on.
Right.
I mean,
It's
if there's
been
going to be
burned.
ghosts, there's going to be ghosts in there.
For sure.
I'm not a crook. You know what I mean? There's Nixon walking around the place. LBJ walking around. Oh, is the highway system done? Lady Bird?
Thank God.
That's my favorite fun fact. I love
What?
that. Lady Bird Johnson was instrumental in beautifying the national highway system.
I didn't know that.
She's a fascinating first lady if you ever get a chance to do some investigating. Let's talk to our audience. Let's try this again. Tara, can you hear me now?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Tara, where are you calling in from today?
Hello?
Okay, we'll try again a little bit later. Thank you, ladies.
I can't
Okay,
hear nobody.
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Darn.
Do we have a rerun ready? Can we just can we put an old episode? You know what we should do? Put out an old episode from like 2014. That would be funny. Just to roll an old episode.
Get all up in the personal with the audience in person. People will be like, "What's happening?"
I wonder if we paid our Zoom bill. Did we have a bill for Zoom? I don't know. Next in the dish, Hollywood is mourning the loss of actor and comedian Charles Grodin. He's known, amongst other things, for his role in Midnight Run. And if you're Ted's age and Kendall's age, this. The 1992 film Beethoven, where he played a father forced to keep a Saint Bernard by his wife and his 3 kids. Look at that. This is, before we say anything else, this is the the fabulous generational gap on our program. We call it the rundown, where the stories that we're going to do are titled. You know, like the earlier story, it was Chrissy Teigen trouble. The first one was Dear Evan Hansen. Ted titled the story, Beethoven Dad Dies. And I said, as a Gen Xer, that was offensive. Because I know him as a fabulous late night guest. Example A. He also earned a reputation as being a great guest on late night talk shows, appearing on Carson and Letterman dozens of times. Now, before we roll this, Steve, let me just set this up for the youngins. Grodin was known for being a curmudgeon and just kind of ribbing Johnny Carson. He was one of the only guests that could just really poke at Johnny Carson. You didn't do that. You were on Johnny's show, you were polite, and Carson Kate gave it right back to them, and the audience never knew if they were joking. This is one of my favorite clips of that example of that. Look at this.
When I tried to talk about my book in the hardcover, you said $18.95, you know, that's a lot of money for a book. And I said it's my whole life.
I thought it was.
You said, you know, maybe if it's Mother Teresa's life, you know.
You remember those things, don't you?
Yes, I do.
I didn't know you were that sensitive. You actually remember that.
I'm so sensitive, I really can't answer a question from someone who's not interested in the question.
I'm very interested in the question. Now, what? It's all right. It's okay. I'm used to it. Now, what does the paperback go for?
This is
hard copy
$9.95.
Well, now we're talking.
So he was talking about, Charles did an appearance on Johnny a couple years before that with his autobiography or book, and Johnny was bemoaning that it was like $50. And then, obviously, Grodin never forgot that and brought it back up again. So, yeah. Your mic isn't on for whatever reason. It's okay.
Okay.
There it is.
Oh, hi.
I think the White House ghosts are in our studio today. I think
could
that's
be.
happening. Now you're on. My apologies.
Okay, so for my people of Beethoven,
Yeah.
can I just say, do you not remember all those funny scenes though, where like he follows Beethoven up to the bedroom and he's slobbering everywhere, or like the kids dump all the food on the floor? It was the best movie ever. So it's not a bad thing to be remembered.
Absolutely, you're right. I've never seen it though, so.
Or Beethoven 2, where he meets Missy and they have their puppies, and then there's the evil like Cruella de Vil lady who tries to steal the puppies and sell them. It's so mean, but they win. Newsflash.
Next up, it's a restaurant I can't stop talking about this morning. Believe me, I'm driving the staff and everyone that I see on the street nuts. So that means it's time once again for another Best Thing Ever, everyone. This goes out, to all my carnivores out there. Why did I just do that? Anyway, it's all about steak today.
Yeah, buddy, I'm a carnivore. Where you at?
That's right. I got a chance to eat at the new The Butcher's Tail in downtown Minneapolis last night. It replaced The Butcher and the Boar, but here's the deal. They have 95% of the same staff, basically the same menu, different owners, different name, same location on Hennepin. Okay, now let's go ahead, roll it, Steve. You are getting ready to look at, and I'm not being Jason, I'm not exaggerating, that right there is the best steak I have had in years. Wow. And I'm not trying to be goofy for the show, and don't take it from me, my best friends, look at that mac and cheese too.
Oh my God.
My best friends, Jen-Luc and Lisa Lacourcier, have eaten at hundreds of restaurants. Jen's in the restaurant business, and we both agreed. Now you will see the price there, and this is where you scream in your living room.
Stop it, Jason.
What?
Wagyu $120.
Okay, is something wrong with her?
You could buy the whole cow, right?
I know.
I know nothing about these things.
Look, it is pricey. It's a 16-ounce Wagyu ribeye. I ain't eating this every day. I'm just saying I got it for the show, and we split it between the three of us.
For the show.
Well, I did. They weren't going to order anything else. We got appetizers, and I looked at them, and I'm like, ladies, we have a show to fill every day.
We must eat this delicious meat.
If we're going to be at the butcher's tail, we got to order actually a steak. So we decided to split the bill, and we ordered that. And again, it is like it's a special occasion. People ask me all the time, where should I take my girlfriend for a date or an anniversary? This is what that meal's for. Yeah. The Wagyu, according to the friends at Butcher's Tail, that is, the cut is only for them. Right, Tyler? That's what you heard too? Anywhere in the country, this is the only place you can get that. 16 ounces. Look, Gianni's is my all-time favorite steak place in Wayzata. They have a good filet mignon. But TV friends, I'll say it for the fourth time. Single-handedly the best steak I've ever put in my mouth. Wow. It really was. And I don't know what it was. I'm sure it's the cut, but I'm not kidding. I saw Moses, and I saw Oprah in the air, and I saw Charles Nelson Riley. Paul Lynde. Mm-hmm. I saw I felt like I was in a dream. The mac and cheese is good. The patio, what they're known for in the back, is fabulous. And this just made my heart sing. It was packed. Yay. It was packed. And I love to see that for downtown Minneapolis. I love to see that for the vibrance of downtown Minneapolis. It's right there on Hennepin. When the shows come back, when the Broadway shows come back this fall, go to the Butcher's Tail, have yourself a cocktail on their patio, and enjoy some meat, because they make all their sausage in-house. Wow. We went in with middling expectations. We didn't know what to expect. It's, different owners. Home run. Wow. Home run, capital H, capital R.
Well, you're right. There are places like that you just get excited about for like months, and then you're willing to spot that because you've saved up and you're excited about it. Do they have good bourbon drinks still?
Yeah, they have great cocktails. Jake, who's been on our show, Jake's the beverage director over there. Great cocktails, and I'm not kidding. I was so excited to get on the air today because I just couldn't wait to tell all of you about it. Cool. Because I love to see a success story like this. So it's good for Minneapolis, it's good for the Twin Cities, and it's good for that staff that came back, and it's good for that cow. Well, not really, but anyway, Wagyu. Thank you. The Handmaid's Tale, the Butcher's Tail, not the Handmaid's Tale. That's a show on Hulu. The Handmaid's Tale is my latest best thing ever.
You said it again. It's the Butcher's Tail.
Oh, now I'm having technical difficulties. See, it's what's happening. The Butcher's Tail is my latest best thing ever. We're going to take a break, and we're going to press the reset button on the show, and we'll be back right after this. Just holding the button and reboot. Welcome back. We've reset the show, so we should be good now. Summer is right around the corner, and of course parents want to make it memorable for their kids. How do you do that? With toys. Please welcome back to the show our good friend, Chris Byrne, the toy guy. Hi, Chris.
Jason, how are you? It's so good to see you.
It's good to see you. I'm glad your energy level is matching my energy level today.
Well, here in Studio 14A, where I've spent the pandemic, we're having a lot of fun and we're playing. And I got some great things to show you. We're going to start out with something that we call Color Wonder. Well, Crayola calls it Color Wonder. It's actually a drawing set. And what you can do is you can draw and color, but the ink only comes up on the paper. So it won't, on your hand, won't do anything. It's just easy. It's mess-free. Parents love it. And it's great if you're going to be traveling.
That is cool. So there's no residue or nothing on your hands?
Nothing on my hand, and it comes to life on the paper. No walls, because kids sometimes like to draw on walls. It's just really, it's really cool and clever.
Yeah.
So,
if your kid's walking on a wall, call a priest because there's something happening.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Marin. It's been certified that I am the worst tennis player on the planet.
Okay.
But I am actually able to play this game, which is called pickleball, which is a much easier version. It's played on like a badminton-style court, Pickleball Central. It's been around since 1966. It's hugely popular now. Kids of all generations can play. Basically, it's kind of like tennis, but it has to bounce in between each shot. So there you go. You can see the kids playing it there. It has to bounce in between each shot. So it's great for people of all ages, and it's also really socially distant, which is great.
So the main difference is because in tennis, you're not allowed to have the ball bounce. It is supposed to bounce in pickleball.
It's supposed to bounce. I mean, there's people out there who could still wipe the court with me, but I'm not as pathetic as I am when I'm on the tennis court. What I am good at are water balloon battles. So check this out. This is a bunch of balloons from Zuru. You can use the hose to blow up and fill 100 balloons in 60 seconds. This has been hugely popular. What's new this year is it's all sustainable. So it's biodegradable, it uses recycled plastic. It's something that you can use. And again, I don't have a hose in Studio 14A, but there you can see it. You can see it going there, which is really kind of fun.
Wait a minute. This video is, Chris, that is awesome.
Isn't that amazing? It is the most amazing product, and the crazy bunch of balloons is all sustainable now. So it's the kind of thing that I would have loved as a kid. Well, I still love it now. And if you're still looking for water battles, this is one of those, why didn't they think of it before? It's called the X-Shot from Zuru. And essentially, when you're filling the water blaster, you have to go to the hose. Check this out. You open the back, and you can drag it through the water, and it fills in 1 second. So, for example, your brother can't come and nail you with the water blaster while you're trying to fill it up at the hose. This is the #1 selling water blaster in the country. Really, really hot right now, which is really kind of cool. We love that.
That is huge. That's a big water blaster.
It's big, and it's only about $19.99, so that's really great.
Perfect.
Also, if you're going to the beach and you want to take things along, from Hoppe, we've got the Fold and Go bucket set. So it comes out of the package, it opens up, it carries the toys, it's lined, it's got sand. Here's the thing about it: if you go to the lake or something and you've got sand in it, just slip it back into the case, and you've got no fuss, no muss, and you're not going to get sand in the car, which is really cool.
And that is one of those things where, why didn't we think of it? Why, Chris, why did we not think of that?
I was too busy being bad at tennis. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. Believe me too. Yeah.
Okay, so now I'm going to show you something that's going to be a huge hit later this year. This is called Aikido. It's from Moose Toys, and it's based on video games, 39 collectible figures. And essentially, you've got all the different ones to fight, and I'm going to battle here. This is Shreddy Bear, and Shreddy Bear is in a battle, and when you win, you knock his head off, and it falls apart. So it's it's going to be huge.
Okay, Shreddy Bear. Shreddy
Bear.
Oh, not Shreddy. Oh, Shreddy Bear. I thought
Shreddy Bear, and they're all really insane sort of guys, like the big baby here. There's going to be 39 to collect it all. This is going to be huge. There's already a lot of anticipation for it out there right now.
Chris,
there you go. That's it.
Yeah, let me look at this commercial here. That baby, was that a baby you were holding? That baby is frightening.
It was. It's Big Baby. It's Big Baby.
And the point is to knock their heads off. Did I get that right?
You did. You absolutely got it right. That is the point of the game.
I Love it. I may get one for the set for us to play with during a commercial. Speaking of commercial, Chris is going to come back in just a little bit. Chris, stay right there, everybody, because when we come back, now we had some fun, but how about some learning toys? How about that? And while we're in the break, Kendall's going to go online and buy us the Sweaty Bear. Kendall, Amazon, I think, maybe. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Welcome back. Welcome back. We're talking with the toy guy, Chris Byrne. We're talking summer toys. Chris, before we get to...
Hooray! Your story pod is now connected to the internet.
Sorry, they're talking to me.
Ready to start the fun.
The toys are talking.
Is that one of those demonic children that are walking on walls, Chris? Is that... No, Chris, before we get to the other ones, I wanted to ask you a question that I'm interested in just about your business and your industry. How far ahead, like right now, are you already seeing things for Christmas? Because, you know, right now we're talking spring, summer, but are you already looking into the future? Are you already getting sneak peeks at stuff?
Absolutely. And I'm looking at things that are going to come out in 22 and some sketches of things that people are looking at for 23. So the toy industry works 18 months to 2 years out, depending on what the production capabilities are and production challenges are.
Wow, that is well. I guess so. I mean, if there's production issues, you gotta actually produce them in time to get them into stores. Okay,
exactly.
This next segment's all about learning activities, learning smart stuff. What do we have?
And then a little bit of fun too. Hopefully, the learning is fun. From Leapfrog, we've got 100 words about the places I go, and this is a touch-sensitive book which gets kids interacting with different places. They touch, they learn, they get letter and number recognition, 100 different words, which is just a great way for kids to be engaged. It's a book, so kids start getting engaged in reading, and it's just a really fun way for them to be able to play.
It's like when you and I were kids, like the See and Say, or
Exactly. The cow says moo.
Yes.
Now, one of the big trends for this year is children's audio. This is what was talking before. It's called StoryPod, and it's a 360-degree speaker. And when you put one of the iCrafties on top of it, it's actually going to start telling you the story. And one of the reasons we're so excited about audio is it really does foster imagination as kids are listening. It gets them focusing, which is really just a great thing for them to be doing, which is really cool.
So you put their little butt on the thing, and each animal has a different story?
Each animal has a different story, or you can use the one that you can actually, the owl is one that you can actually load up with your own stuff. So parents or grandparents can record their own stories for kids to play with them. And it's really portable and soft, so it's really easy for kids to tote around with them.
I love that. Next.
Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to spend 15 minutes a day learning. Carson DeLosa has a whole line of products called Summer Bridge Activities. There's workbooks, there's flashcards like Buzz with Buzz Lightyear. These are all under $12. And, you know, the thing about it is kids are very much engaged in the whole idea of it. They love playing with this stuff. They love, learning things. Knowledge is a kind of currency for kids. So it really does keep their minds sharp as they're playing during the summer. And really, they say 15 minutes a day, but I found that it's pretty immersive. And there's some things that I couldn't get either. Those, two trains start out at this. No. Not my strong suit.
Chris, I think you just gave us a segment idea. I think I'm going to get those learning books and see if I can actually accomplish them on the show. That would be probably a little embarrassing, but anyway. Handbags.
Okay, so kids love handbags. These are the Real Littles handbags from Moose. They are actually, you can see they're just little tiny handbags. They come with different accessories inside them. I'm particularly partial to the furry one. I just think it's sweet and collectible. And one of the things about this summer is the whole social emotional aspect as kids are getting together again. So you're going to want to be able to have things that kids can collect and have activities around, which is really cool.
I love those. Those are cute.
Okay, so this is a game that is pretty amazing. It's called Gridopolis. It's a 3D game and system. So you build the grid, and this is set up for the basic game, and it's basically about jumping and chasing and capturing people in 3 dimensions. But what's also cool about it is it's got an entire game curriculum that goes with it. So you can learn to design your own game, build mechanics and such. It's about $39.99. It's something that a lot of educators have really gravitated to as well, because again, it's really immersive and really fun to play with.
So, so it's you build something, or is it like a chess checker situation?
No, you actually build the set. You actually build the set. There's 7 different pieces, sort of unlimited possibilities what you can do, but you build them. It's the pads and the connectors, and then again these pawns that turn into kings when you jump them. So it's a combination of chess, checkers, all kinds of different classic games. But again, it's all about making your own games as well.
And then Play-Doh we're going to end with.
Okay, so I know that the thing that keeps you up at night, Jason, is whether or not slime is still a thing. It is.
I think about it all the time.
This is the Play-Doh Slime Dino Crew Lava Bones Island playset, and basically it's just a great way to play with slime. And look at this. It's the they've got all this glowing shine and the hydroglitz slime they call it. And Play-Doh's really expanded into these different compounds in the last year. So it's just a really fun way for kids to play with it. And then you can see it's erupting and playing and just, again, silly social play, which is really important for the end of for the summer as kids are being acclimated to being with one another again.
Chris, you would know better than anyone. Obviously, there's trends every year. Don't you think slime is one of those trends that will never go away? It was popular when we were kids. It was popular in the 90s, and then the unicorn poop thing. And slime will always be fascinating for kids, won't it?
And we can take confidence. We can have faith in the fact that there will always be slime.
Always. And there will always be the toy guy. Chris, thank you, my friend. Hope to see you soon.
Jason, thank you.
Head to thetoyguy.com for more information, and all you parents watching, do not worry. We will post this segment on our Facebook page a little bit later. Just give us a little time. We'll get it to you by this afternoon. So just go to Jason's Show on Facebook. We're going to take a break. We'll be back. Kendall's going to take you to a distilling company run by a world-renowned expert when we come back. Beautiful aerial shot. Adam's up in the rafters today. I love it. Welcome back. Just in time for summer sipping. A new distillery is getting ready to open in Minneapolis. O'Shaughnessy Distilling Company will create both Irish and American whiskey, and they have recruited, this is why this is such a huge deal. They have recruited one of the top whiskey makers in the world to be a part of the process. Kendall got a sneak peek at this much anticipated new spot.
I talked to Stephanie March about this, and she was like, Kendall, this is a really big deal. I've been super stoked to meet you and talk about this. Before we get into the huge baby of this, why are we in this room?
This is where the whiskey process really begins. You start with grains like corn and barley, and you break them down into a roller mill, and you're just trying to get to a grist, a fine powder, which has the sugars and starches that you need to basically begin fermenting, which you're almost making beer there. And then from there, the distillation journey begins.
So making whiskey is like making beer?
That's the first part of the process. They actually call the fermentation process a brew house, because you first make a beer and then you get to make a great spirit after that.
Oh, okay. I'm such a nerd. I'm like, look at, you really would be able to see action happening.
Oh, for sure.
Once it's happening.
And it's like almost upside down coffee press, like you're filtering it. So you're gonna separate the grains from the liquid, and then you're gonna bring the liquid here to the fermenters. We're simply gonna add yeast, and then that fermentation is gonna start bubbling up, and you're basically gonna create a beer at 8% alcohol by volume. And if you had a beer drinker here, they might want to stop right here.
I was gonna say,
but
could
we
you stop
normally
here?
we normally take it on into distilling.
This is what I would say is like the mad scientist layer, or like the Wizard of Oz. I feel like I'm like gonna crank something and something's gonna happen here.
You actually would. When the distiller is actually making it, they're going to be tasting the distillate and nosing it to find out where the right cut is. But when you start talking about whiskey, it's all about getting to the heart of the distillate. The master distiller really knows the flavor that they're going for. And I think what we're really thrilled about is that our master distiller is a gentleman named Brian Nation. Yeah. Brian is kind of world-renowned in Irish whiskey circles with brands that we all know and love. He made Jameson, he made Redbreast, and we met with Brian and his wife over in Ireland and just had an instant connection. And we knew we could create something really special together.
From what I understand too, he's never left Ireland, and he and his family are now moving here to Minnesota to do this project with you.
They've lived in Ireland their whole lives, but he's moving here to the Minnesota community, and I think they're a little trepidatious about winter coming again, but we know he's gonna have a good time here.
Okay, down here I think you really get an idea of the size of these copper pots. They're massive. Is there anything else in like Minnesota, Wisconsin area that is this size?
I think they're kind of one of a kind. They came from Forsyths over in Scotland, which is the #1 maker of kind of Irish style stills.
I just am so flabbergasted because I've been to a couple of smaller distilleries and I've seen them, and normally they're like 2 of me and 3 of me wide, but this is like, whoa, this is huge. When you come, anyone that can come in, they can do a tour kind of like what we just did. They can just come and grab a drink. What's the experience going to be like?
Yeah, so the experience is designed to be kind of a destination experience. So we really want to show people how we make whiskey. So there's a whole tour process that takes everybody through kind of milling and fermentation and distilling, and even how you mature whiskey in a cask, and there's a tasting room. And so we really want to bring that whiskey education and the joy of whiskey making that people can be so passionate about as a big part of the experience. And then of course, for those who just want to have a nice cocktail or a whiskey here in the Keeper's Heart Bar, that'll be great too, but we're trying to bring something for everyone.
I'm ready. Sign me up. I'll be here in July.
July? She barely came to work today. She's hanging out there. Kendall joins me now again. How big? TV distorts things sometimes.
Yeah.
That place looks ginormous. Is it as big in person?
The pots are what really gets you to be like, whoa, those are massive. Because if you've been to a local distillery, you know what a normal pot size looks like.
Yeah.
These are huge. They take up both stories, right? And there's 3 of them. So we've got that main room we were in. There's another room that's just about as big that you can rent for parties. There's an upstairs area that you can look over the distillery. There's a patio. There's a basement area you can go into for tastings. And they do that tour I went on. They'll be offering it to people too if you're interested in how the process works. So.
And where is it again?
So it's in Prospect Park neighborhood. So if you're not familiar with Minneapolis, it's very close to Dinkytown, a little closer to St. Paul, right next to Surly. So you could literally walk between their distillery and Surly.
That's
if you want to,
take
people with you. And
yeah. Fun afternoon, fun evening.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. It's almost like a little liquor campus. Yeah.
It's going to be awesome.
That's great. Again, bravo, Twin Cities. To learn more about O'Shaughnessy Distilling Company, check out their website, osdistilling.com. And thanks for letting us in. We appreciate it. We're going to take a break. We'll be back right after this with the Bubblegum Goodbye question and more. Welcome back. It is a good reminder to tell you if you miss the show on a daily basis, what are you doing? But we don't mind as long as you watch us on the YouTube. There it is. Just search for The Jason Show. Hit that subscribe button and the reminder button too. We'll give you an alert every time we post a new show. Kendall, are you ready for the Bubblegum Goodbye?
You've been laughing, so I'm a little concerned.
In my hand, I hold the mystery question. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
The question today. Have you ever texted the wrong person something embarrassing? And if so, what? I have an answer, and so does Kendall when we come back. Back in a moment. Welcome back. Let's say thank you, I'm sorry, and goodbye to our virtual audience today. We have technical difficulties. Tara and Lorena, thank you. Please come back when the gremlins aren't in our system. Thank you, ladies, for being here. Okay, it is time for the bubblegum goodbye, everyone. And it is, have you ever mistakenly texted somebody, and if so, what? Kendall?
No, but I accidentally sent a Snapchat photo to my ex's sister instead of my best friend of me and my then new boyfriend.
Got it. There is a movie called The Lighthouse that I was discussing on the radio show, and The Lighthouse is a weird movie that featured a mermaid and her whole body, including like privates, and we were laughing so hard that I Googled it, and I accidentally sent the picture of the mermaid privates to our boss here at Fox. That was glorious. That's going to do it for us today. If you're watching and you're a kid, what's this? That's being bullied. Go out there and be yourself, because nobody can tell you you're doing it wrong. We'll see you tomorrow, everybody.